Okay, so a little bit more about which bottles we used and which bottles we tried with our kid. So when he was first born, he used the Similac Ready to Feeds from the hospital, and we were using that for the first 12 hours when he came home. We wanted to start using the actual bottles that we got through our baby registry and whatnot. There's also the bottle samples that we had gotten from Amazon and Target. And there was one that was the Philips Avent with like the green thing, also one from Tommy Tippy. And of course, there's the Dr. Brown's ones. And what ended up being the most efficient for our kid was the Dr. Brown ones. And we actually started out with this size initially. We got a few of these samples from Target and whatnot. That ended up being the one that fed him the most reasonably quick without him spitting up. We started with the size 1 nipple flow, and I want to say a month and a half in, he started drinking much slower, so we upgraded to the size 2 nipple. And that ended up being fast enough that he finished the formula quickly enough, but also wasn't spitting it up that much. And we also bought some taller bottles because at some point he started drinking more than 4 ounces. And this small Dr. Brown's bottle is technically 4 ounces only. If you want to avoid leaks, you shouldn't fill up more than 4 ounces. Nice to have both still because the other parts can be reused between the two. We still use the smaller bottles because in the daytime he drinks 4 ounces or maybe a bit less than that. Yeah, we've been using size 2 nipples since he was a month and a half. He's now a bit over 3 months old. We just kept on using them. We actually had the natural flow Philips Avent on our registry, but I remember, randomly choosing the nipple size, and I actually remember the box saying it was for 1 month and older. So we just kind of forgot about even trying this brand out. The default nipple size, it's a different system. They have net size 3 as a default. So at one point, maybe when he was around 2 months, we wanted to try these ones out because sometimes he would fuss or complain when using the Dr. Brown's. The thing with this design is that it doesn't drip unless the baby is actively trying to drink from the bottle. And that's actually good for babies who don't like the milk flowing out, and even if they're not even drinking from it. So that's what Dr. Brown's does. So we found that this bottle ended up being really good for when baby was being a bit fussy, but he was clearly hungry, and it actually helped calm him down and usually helped him fall back to sleep, which is very good for nighttime feedings when you're probably also really tired and wanting to go back to sleep. So we started using these more just kind of as backup if the feedings don't go well for Dr. Brown's. But he only had like 1 ounce from here. We would pour the remainder into the Avent bottle, and then he would finish it in this bottle, and he would be a lot more calm as well. The flow rate was still a bit slow though. At the size 3 is meant for younger babies, so we ended up buying the size 4 nipple, which is for 3 months and up, and that ended up being a pretty good balance. I initially thought maybe he would still drink pretty fast with these, and maybe we could like use these interchangeably, but as I said earlier, the flow rate is technically slower because the milk doesn't come out unless the baby's actively trying to drink out of it. So we don't use these day to day, but we will have them around just in case. So yeah, when we go outside for errands or going to restaurants, we bring 2 of these bottles and 1 of this bottle, just so that we have enough for 2 regular feedings. And then if he's being fussy, we'll use the Avent just in case. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, every baby is different. It's definitely like a hassle to have this bottle because there's a lot of parts to clean. That's pretty much it, and that's what works for our baby. Hopefully this helps you with your baby. Bye-bye.